What is up, guys? Carson here. I'm here to talk about Game Two of the Nuggets and Lakers series. Um, an unexpected thing that the Lakers didn't do today is start Rui Hachimura. I think for the most part, most people expected him to start and guard Jokic throughout the game today, which he did get like his normal bench minutes that he's been having throughout the playoffs, and he did guard him for a lot. But I felt like the majority of fans expected him to start. But overall, this was a pretty exciting game, pretty competitive. Um, the first quarter was really slow. There was a lot of foul calls and stuff like that. But after that, it really got going, and I thought it was a good game. Um, the Lakers, the thing that hurt them the most, I think, is Anthony Davis being pretty inefficient, and I don't even want to say he wasn't aggressive. He was pretty aggressive for the most part, but he wasn't making his shots the way that he had game one. And like I said in the last video, for them to win this series, he needs to keep being that type of player where he gets to the free throw line. He got to the free throw line a lot today, but he wasn't converting on his other attempts. Um, LeBron didn't have a bad game, but he had a lot of moments that were like pretty like low lights. It's the best way to say it. So that kind of threw off the vibes that he was giving, even though like his stats weren't bad or anything like that. Um, it seemed like D'Angelo Russell really didn't get as many minutes as what you would expect from him, which is understandable. He wasn't having a great game in the first half. In the second half, they really stuck to giving guys like Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, um, those guard minutes. Um, Last game, we saw a lot of the Lakers attacking Jamal Murray in the pick and roll, trying to get mismatches with LeBron and some of those other guys with Jamal Murray guarding them. But for the most part today, they were really trying to attack Michael Porter Jr., which makes sense. Like it's one less shooter on the court. Like he's as much as I hate watching him play because terrible basketball IQ just chunks everything up. He's like a 40% 3 point shooter, and if he's hot, he's gonna change the game and just completely destroy any momentum that the Lakers have if he gets hot in a time like that. Um, Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter was absolutely insane. I think he had 15, maybe more points in the fourth quarter. He was not missing. I know he was 4 or 5 from three, and he had free throws at the end. They gave him the ball out at the end whenever they were trying to foul Lakers get back in the game, stuff like that. But yeah, Jokic on the other hand, he this is probably one of his more inefficient games that he's had in the playoffs. I think he was under 50%, which we just don't see from him a lot. A lot of last game he was mid high 60s, but he didn't have a bad game by any means. He got a triple double, of course. It's Jokic. We know what he's going to do. Defensively, he was pretty solid. He was in there clogging the paint, affecting shots for the most part. A, a thing I have to say about the Nuggets offense though is whenever you whenever the Lakers have somebody else like Rui Hachimura or LeBron guarding Jokic, that gives Anthony Davis the ability to play off ball and kind of protect the paint a lot more than he would be if he was just guarding Jokic, which deters Jokic from attacking as much. But I think Michael Malone needs to figure something out to where Aaron Gordon is not in the game during those minutes because you can't if if Aaron Gordon is on the 3 point line, they're not going to respect him. They're just going to let him sit out there, and Anthony Davis is going to stay in the paint. So they just have Aaron Gordon sitting in the dunker spot, just clogging up the paint and making it easy for Anthony Davis. They need to have somebody in there, like Christian Brown, somebody that can space the floor. Even Jeff Green would do better than Aaron Gordon in those situations, just because you have to respect his 3 point shot a little bit more. But other than that, Aaron Gordon had a pretty solid game. He made a lot of impactful plays, especially on the offensive end. Like we know what we're going to get from him on defense, but he had some some big plays offensively where he was just like getting rebounds, going back up with them, or just cuts, making the right reads and stuff like that. So that was good to see. Going forward, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what the Lakers try and do, if they really even try to adjust at all. Because in the playoffs, the home team is supposed to win. So really, at this point, the Nuggets have just been taking care of business. We'll see what the Lakers do. Maybe they're thinking, okay, both games have been close. We'll just stick with what we're doing. We're gonna have the home crowd. Just run with it. But not sure. I think if D'Angelo Russell plays a little bit better, they're winning this game. The both of those games. He They need D'Angelo Russell to be like a consistent third, not only when they start, just their third best player. If D'Angelo Russell is consistently the third best player on that team, they will win games. And I think most of the time, whenever he's done that, they've won their games. Going forward, I think it's going to be interesting to see if the Lakers try and incorporate other things, like other players, into their game plan, since they have not been shooting the ball from three very efficiently. I think they're like mid 20s today, around 25%. When they have guys like Malik Beasley just chilling on the bench, when we know Malik Beasley is somebody that's going to go out there and make threes. And he, even outside of threes, he can do the stuff that Austin Reeves does, like creating his own shot, stuff like that. Um, Speaking of Austin Reeves, he had a pretty good game today. Um, hit some decent shots. He hit a couple deep threes where I was just like, wow, I can't believe he made that. Um, but yeah, LeBron's ankle is another thing that could impact the rest of the series. I don't really think it looked that bad. Like after that play, he's kind of fine. But we also saw that with Jimmy Butler, where he hurt his ankle in the Knicks series, and he continued playing on it, and then he ended up missing the next game. So if the Nuggets are able to take Game 3, if LeBron is out, that's going to change it. Another interesting thing to look at is the free throw numbers. I'm not sure about the second half, but definitely the first half. I think the numbers are like 22 Los Angeles free throws compared to the like 10 of Nuggets free throw attempts. So if the Lakers aren't getting those calls, this game looks very different. So that's definitely something to look at. But going into Los Angeles, they're definitely going to be getting those calls. So I don't think these games is going to be anything that's going to change. But in a game 5 situation, where they're back in Denver, I wouldn't expect them to get that many more free throws than the home team. So that's all. Peace.